recording now. So I will just go from the beginning with a small statement. Today we are in day 3. We are going to look into contract accounts receivable and payable. That is yesterday's slide 39. This is what FICA comprises of, and the subtopics under that we will be covering is basic functions, business transactions, integration, closing operations, information system, job control, European Monetary Union and contract accounts receivable and payable, archiving, contract accounts receivable and payable, interfaces. So our idea is to go into each and every point one by one with checking their sub points. You know, every ERP is as vast as an ocean, but we need to, if we can at least conquer one particular storyline, then we get the how the entire ERP works, and we can have our ownership in the entire ERP. So in basic functions, the points we will be dealing with is SAP Business Partner, Business Data Toolset, that is BDT, contract accounts, postings and documents, tax postings, open item management, account balance display, print workbench, correspondence, customer contacts. Then going into the details of SAP Business Partner, that is SAP BP. Purpose: the component SAP Business Partner enables you to create and manage business partners centrally. This is of prime interest if a business partner plays different roles for a company, such as sold to party and ship to party. SAP Business Partner is designed to utilize technical benefits such as data integrity and freedom from data redundancy, and to place greater emphasis on aspects relating to customer maintenance and acquisition of new customers. Features that we will be dealing with will be: you can create a business partner in different business partner roles, and during the course of the business relationship, the business partner can assume other business partner roles. So one business partner can become another business partner to some other person. No new data has to be created each time, meaning that redundant data creation and retention is avoided, and there can be no inconsistencies. So that is also a very important part, that we shouldn't be the data shouldn't get redundant, in order that when we are giving one business partner, associating one business partner to another, his data which belong to him as an individual should not get redundant. So he will be known as a business partner only, and not get mixed up with some other role. By using SAP Business Partner, it is possible to merge the partner data already held by a company in more than one system in such a way that the potential for new contracts within the same customer contract can be identified. When you enter data, the central data related to SAP Business Partner and the application specific data are integrated seamlessly on the processing screen. Seamless integration of customer specific data is possible without modification, ensuring full feature maintenance, because defined interfaces exist for this purpose. Business partner role: contract partner. Definition: a contract partner is connected with the company through contract accounts and through the conclusion of contracts. Contract accounts can therefore only be assigned to a business partner, and services billed accordingly if you have created this business partner in the role of contract partner. Use: since a contract partner receives services from the company and has to be billed for these services, you also have to store control and payment data for the contract partner. In addition to bank details, you can enter general data on the contract partner, such as the business partner type, creditworthiness. Creditworthiness is determined and updated automatically, but you can override this. So I had made a cheat sheet before this so that we don't lose track. We are in this category, SAP business partner we are discussing. Then we will be going into business data toolset, then contract accounts. A company must have the following information on a contract partner: address, name, form of address, academic title, name suffixes and prefixes, personal data, street address, postbox address, communication methods, control payment transactions, bank details and general data, creditworthiness, relationships to other business partners, see structural link relationship categories, data in future. So we will be in our practical classes going into these particular links, that is structural link that is mentioned over here, and we will check out all these fields like address, name, form of address, academic title, which are needed in order for the business partner or contract partner creation. You do not have to activate business partner master data changes to have immediate effect. Instead, you can enter a date from which the changes are effective. This data is not written to the database but recorded in change documents. To activate such data, you should start report USPCDACT daily if possible, as it writes the planning to the database. So these are the trivia that comes very handy in order to solve issues and bugs. For example, you missed this particular information, then all of a sudden your setup starts giving errors, and then you go back, scratch your head, and find out that this information was missing. The way it wanted to get the information was not entered in the proper way. So this bug came up. Now you have resolved it, and the client is all smiles. You can also make schedule changes using direct input. However, you need the primary key to do this. You can delete inconsistent data when you are in display mode for change documents. Tax numbers for business partners. You can define any number of tax numbers. You assign these to tax number categories that control the usage and check of tax numbers. Checking dependencies of master data changes. If you delete the bank details of a business partner, but these are still used in contract account, you receive a corresponding message and can go to maintenance of the contract account to remove this inconsistency. This check does not apply to scheduled master data changes. So in our hands-on classes, we could try out all these things that we are studying now, whether actually FICA comes up with such corresponding messages and all. If we proactively make these errors and get more confidence in the system. Check digit for contract partners. When you create a contract partner, you can add a check digit to the contract partner number. The prerequisites are as follows. You add the check digit procedure using event 1051. Sample function module, FKK sample 1051 to check digit. The contract partner is created with internal number assignment. Tony, good that you asked that question in the group. They are very reluctant upon giving the server. We haven't got the instance yet. At least by this weekend, it should come up. The number range is configured such that it begins with a leading zero. Check digit procedure with one check digit, or with two leading zeros procedure with two check digits. Utilities industry ISU component. So ISU stands for utilities industry. U stands for utilities, and IS is the industry component. In the utilities industry component, you can define additional data for the contract partner. For example, the following general data, that is driving license number, social insurance number, USA, employee classification, account category as default value for contract account. Business data tool set. This is BDT. This is in the cheat sheet. This is the second point. Are you able to see this page? The notepad that I am showing?
We can see only PPT.
Okay, I will just give sharing option to this also. So this was our structure, the tree that we were delving through. So after SAP Business Partner, now we are going into Business Data Toolset. Then we will move into contract accounts. Hope it is visible, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, now I am going back to the PPT again. The PPT is showing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in Business Data Toolset, we have the developer's manual, which constitutes of the following points. That is introduction to the BDT. What is BDT? Function overview, roadmap for implementation, appendix, terminology definitions. Now we'll pick up the first point in BDT, that is introduction. This manual describes the functions in the Business Data Toolkit, that is BDT, as of January 1999. Development for release 4.6a in standard R3 system has already begun at this point. The following IBU releases have the same development status, that is IBU banking release 4.01b, IBU insurance release, that is 2.1a, IBU telecommunications release, that is 1.2, IBU utilities release 1.2. This manual is divided into 5 main sections. So as you can understand, we are dealing with these basic industries which contains contract type of business, starting with banking, insurance, telecommunications, utilities. Electricity is not mentioned over here. What is BDT? After this introduction, the chapter introduction to the BDT provides a brief overview of the BDT's origins, current features, and enhancements planned for the future. The chapter function overview describes current functionality in detail. In writing this manual, the authors have assumed thorough knowledge of dialog programming and the related tools. The chapter roadmap for implementation is devoted to practical problem solving. It lists any necessary steps and then makes reference to sections that provide more detailed descriptions, explanations of special terms and abbreviations, as well as an overview of naming conventions, that is terminology definitions, comprise the last section of the manual. So this is what all we are going to deal with the BDT, to the general functionality that comes from SAP community. Depending on your interests, different sections will be more or less relevant for you. For a brief overview of the functions in the BDT, we will see in the next section, that is introduction to the BDT. What is BDT? Developers and consultants who plan to use BDT for implementation but are unfamiliar with it need to read the entire manual. Developers and consultants with BDT experience may only need to consult the roadmap for implementation to solve actual problems. All this comes as white papers from the SAP community. the business development toolkit that comes handy for the consultants and developers, as well as the implementation guide, that is IMG, which gives us all the roadmap for configurations and implementations. Introduction to the BDT. What is BDT? The BDT business data toolset is a central control tool for maintaining master data and simple transaction data. In addition to dialog maintenance, it also supports maintenance with direct input and/or function modules. BDT also provides generic services for consistently recurring requirements such as occur in change document lists. Change document is the CDs that we come across in our in our profession as consultant. Then field groupings and the deletion program. It takes control over these objects as well as generic parts and calls the applications using predefined interfaces, that is control tables and events. Interfaces are nothing but moving from say FICA, I move into SCM. So that is an interface that requires some mapping tables. The information that is represented in a particular table in FICA is mapped to certain other table through the metadata. These are the control tables and events. The applications themselves introduce application specific enhancements such as writing and reading application tables. Note, the BDT is used at SAP for maintaining several application objects. See current status. User, development partners and customers can also extend these application objects via the BDT interfaces. However, objects belonging to the development partners and customers may not be mapped using BDT as the required control has not yet been released. Function overview. The BDT's functions are described in detail in this section. Menu paths refer to the described task menu, BUPT. We have to keep this BUPT menu as our queue when we going to the instance. Task menus belonging to other application objects will generally look very similar. Roadmap for implementation. This section is intended to assist developers implement the most common requirements. One approach to the problem is described in each subsection. This is followed by a list of required actions in the order they are to be performed. Reference is frequently made to the associated functional description given in function overview. The following options will be of particular interest to customers who want to extend standard SAP data maintenance methods, which are customers and another check for the standard SAP view. That is, we'll see that in the additional check for existing view. Then customers extend the standard SAP table with their own fields and integrate them into data maintenance. See new table fields and new tables. Customers integrate the fields from their own table into data maintenance. See new table fields and new tables. Appendix terminology definitions. Current memory. The current memory contains the data on the instance that is being edited at the moment. To do this, the owning application as well as the participating applications in their function group create globally valid field structures. Only one record per instance possible, or tables, several records possible for each table. Old and new data sets are kept separately in current memory. The old set is made up of data that exists on the initial screen in maintenance. This data is generally flagged at event ISDAT table owning application or ISDST table participating application. The new set reflects the data currently entered and is also flagged for the first time at events ISDAT and or ISDST. The status is then updated after each entry. Slide number 82, global memory. This memory contains data for all instances that have already been edited but have not yet been saved to the database. The owning application creates only one memory for each table. The data from the participating application is also flagged in the table, regardless of whether one or more records can exist for each instance in the table. The owning application creates a globally valid table within its function group. As in the current memory, a distinction is made in the global memory between the old and new statuses, which are also flagged separately. The old status represents the current database status and is only created in the fast data maintenance. For an instance, for this reason, this takes place by transferring the data event, that is DTake, from the old status of the current memory. If this instance is maintained again in transfer mode without saving in the meantime, you cannot change the old status at this point. The new status is updated every time the data is transferred. The new status is copied from the new status of the current memory. Though this is a bit aligned on the technical side, like how this memory related to the particular table is managed, but we may face issues in the front-end FICA instance also while working in these menus, and we need to take precaution beforehand. Applications which own the tables, application that created the table and in whose development class the table is located, this application is responsible for reading the data on the initial screen, event ISDAT, as well as for writing the data to the database, that is event DSave. Applications using the tables, application that adds data fields to the table of another application using the append structure. This application takes data from the application that owns the tables, event ISDST, and transfers the new status of its own data fields to this application prior to saving the data, that is event DSaveB. Events are defined in different places in BDT. Each application can define the name of its own function modules in the BDT's control tables at these events. Once the process reaches an event, the BDT automatically calls all the function modules in the application whose names are entered for this event. Applications can use this technique to include their own program logic. So Zoom is alerting that the meeting will end in 10 minutes, but I will resume it once it ends and the entire recording gets downloaded. So no worries. Next, we move into contract account. That is this third subtopic under basic functions. Are you able to be on this track? Are you able to get thorough with the track that I am following?
Yeah, Gupta, I think it's good to walk through the SAP screens as well while we are talking about these topics.
Okay. So moving into contract account now. Purpose: this component enables you to create and manage contract account master data. In contract accounts receivable and payable, each business partner posting is assigned to one business partner and to one contract account. In the contract account master record, you can define for each business partner the procedures that apply when posting and processing the line items of a given contract account. These include, for example, payment and dunning. So this is how the contract account will be handled. Till now, we have covered what all comes under the SAP business partner. Then we moved into the business development toolkit or toolset, whatever it was, and checked out in business development toolset that was a bit technically aligned. That comes pretty useful when we are solving real-time issues. Now we will be checking in contract account and the purposes it serves. integration. Master data can be changed automatically by certain business transactions. In this way, for example, a return can result in a processing lock being set. Features, you can assign more than one contract account to a given business partner. Similarly, a single contract account can be assigned to more than one business partner. Note, however, that in the industry components listed below, different rules apply. You can transfer data manually or automatically. Contract accounts tend to be managed on an open item basis. And this is the structural link, that is open item management. The system logs changes to master data, and will be checking out the logging changes. Industry specific component telecommunications. So now we move into ISP, that is after utilities. This is telecommunication. In this component, a contract account can be assigned to one business partner only. Industry specific component utilities industry, that is ISU. In utilities, one contract account contains all those contracts belonging to one business partner for which the same payment and dunning terms apply. You assign your business partner contracts to the contract accounts. Although one contract account can contain more than one contract, each individual contract is assigned to one contract account only. This does not apply to one-time accounts. For more information on contracts, see the utility disposal contracts section in the utilities industry component. Industry specific component insurance, that is FSCD. One of the FICA guys works in this particular domain, that is FSCD. Yesterday he was mentioning me. You assign contracts with business partners to the contract account. Each contract is only assigned to one contract account. However, one contract account may have several contracts assigned to it. Contract account master data is usually created and changed from the operational system using an interface. Industry specific component public sector, that is ISPSCA. You set up the contract accounts of our business partner for the relevant taxes, property tax, income tax, and so on. You assign contract objects for which taxes are levied to a contract account. In different taxes are levied for a contract object, you can make assignments to several contract accounts. For more information about the contract objects, see the industry specific component public sector under contract object. Postings and documents. So this is the next topic we'll be moving into. Postings and documents. What is the purpose? This component enables you to post and process documents. These documents are either automatically imported from an operational or non-SAP system, or you can enter and post them manually. You use this component to enter your basic settings for entering, posting, and processing documents both manually and automatically. Features: postings are always stored as documents in the system. Document principle. Documents are proof of business transactions. We'll check that in documents. Each document is assigned a unique number, that is document number. You can have the system number documents automatically, or you can number them yourself. The document type controls how numbers are assigned. See document type. An official document number can be assigned to a document as well as the document number. This is required for reports to the tax authorities in some countries such as Argentina and Brazil. For more information about the assignment of official document numbers, see note so and so in OSS. When you are entering documents, you can also clear open posted items. You can display documents and provide certain prerequisites are made, change, reverse, and archive them. When you are entering and processing documents, you can hide fields that you do not require or define your own screens that lists the document fields you do require. Individual industry solution components can display fields in shortened form or as display fields. In addition to line items that update transaction figures in the general ledger, such as those relating to invoices, payments, or credit memos, you can also post statistical line items. These line items are noted on the contract accounts but do not need to be posted to the general ledger. They are processed both by the Dunning program and the payment program. They are used, for example, to post budget billing requests or charge receivables. Statistical line items are not taken into account when checking the balance. Documents can be posted across more than one company code. The balance of all the line items in a company code is always zero. See cross company code documents. The system creates automatic postings for all business transactions. This includes taxes, discounts, and exchange rate differences. In so doing, it calculates the relevant amounts and automatically determines the GL accounts to which they are to be posted. In addition to GL accounts, for automatic postings, you can define further account assignments depending on the business transaction. You do this in customizing. This simplifies the task of entering and processing documents. So we have just 1 more minute left before this stops. So I will be taking the download, and I will be then moving this one by one into YouTube also, with our particular training being available in YouTube, and I will send you the respective links. You just get a glimpse of that and put your likes and shares, then our class would become more publicized. So I am stopping this now. I mean, just keeping it on pause and going for the recording to get saved. Hold on till then.